Greetings, dear friends. Your support is our strength. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. This helps the growth of our channel. Leave comments because feedback is very valuable to us. And now to the most relevant world news. Let's go! Hello friends, this is Channel 8 again with your host Sergey Rossi. Let's talk about the main topic. Sappers explained how IEDs extensively mined the Kursk region. Thus, a sapper with the call sign Potap stated that the mining of the Kursk region in the SU was of a very sophisticated nature. The practice of mining the areas of the Kursk region occupied in the SU was more sophisticated than in the territories previously belonging to Ukraine, the commander of the sapper unit with the call sign Potap told RIA Novosti. Our guys are experienced, they've been through a lot, but here in the Kursk region, there are a lot of surprises. Various boxes, gifts, and different items are mined. All of this is shot at and destroyed by the sappers, he stated. In the SU, mines were installed in the Kursk region with the intention of causing as many injuries as possible to local residents and military personnel, he noted. In fact, in the Kursk region, this is done more extensively. It's mined, more maliciously. If they want to harm, they aim to harm significantly. In detail, if I may say so, to tear off an arm or a leg. If in the DNR or LNR, the goal is for you to become a 200th, here it's specifically to cause harm, stated the agency's interlocutor. The armed forces of Ukraine actively use civilian components to create explosive devices. They also use motion sensors and regular firecrackers, stated Roman Menshinin, a sapper from the demining squad of the International Mine Action Center. Meanwhile, TASS. Russia reports that the armed forces of Ukraine are widely using improvised explosive devices made from civilian components in the Special Operations Zone. This was reported to TASS by the hero of the Special Military Operation, senior sapper of the demining squad of the International Mine Action Center, and Private Roman Menshinin. These are the kind of skilled individuals who understand electronics and make all these devices from civilian components bought in regular stores, like those selling 1,000 little things. They use movement sensors, sometimes just regular firecrackers. Everything that is part of a person's everyday life, all of this is used here. The enemy has a very vivid imagination, let's say a twisted one. For instance, an uninformed person picks up an unfamiliar phone, and when the casing heats up from the warmth of their hands, the device goes boom. It explodes. No hand left. The same thing happens with kettles with various thermoses, stated the sapper. According to Menshinin, during the demining of the LNR territory, he encountered a wide variety of explosive trinkets, including those of Western production. I have discovered and neutralized over 1,000 explosive devices, he states. Among them are artillery and rocket shells, mortar mines, anti-tank and anti-personnel mines, including those of foreign production, he said. The sapper also noted that many mines of Polish production were discovered as well for the 82mm mortar. The specialist reported that he also encountered cluster anti-tank electromagnetic bombs. You can't just approach them. With metal, they react to any metal and are only shot at with rifles or machine guns, Menshinin explained. Any serious armed conflict, even after its hottest phase has ended, unfortunately continues to claim human lives. And the combat zone is littered with unexploded shells, anti-personnel, anti-tank mines, and various tripwires. These are the ones capable of finding victims, even decades later. How the specialists of the 92nd Engineer Regiment of the North Group neutralized these deadly traps is covered in the RIA Novosti report. A creative adversary. Creative in quotes, of course. The Demining Company is working in a small village in the Sujansky district, a few kilometers north of Pogrebki. The enemy has long been gone from here, but the local residents are still in no hurry to return. The Ukrainian Armed Forces, when retreating, like to leave behind explosive surprises. They camouflage them very skillfully. Therefore, the sappers operate carefully and without haste. After all, the regiment's motto is no room for error. The soldiers, in heavy anti-fragmentation suits, slowly move along the roadside, sweeping back and forth with handheld metal detectors. If the device signals, they try to determine with a special probe what is hidden beneath the ground. Most detections are conditionally false, meaning the metal detectors often react to scraps of barbed wire or harmless metal pieces, some kind of metal. And here is a combat find. And this is a find, a half-liter soda bottle with a cloudy pale yellow liquid. This is nothing other than a flammable mixture commonly known as napalm. Essentially, it's a homemade incendiary bomb with thickened gasoline. It sticks to any surface and is very difficult to extinguish. Such 1.5-liter bottles, in quotes, with makeshift detonators are dropped by the enemy from drones. A brutal weapon, capable of causing at least very severe burns, which are practically impossible to extinguish. But it has long been clear that Ukrainian soldiers are not known for excessive humanitarianism. These are cruel people. The deputy model of the divorce with underground craft carefully examines the bottle, gives a signal. Everything is fine. The bomb is without a detonator, so it is not dangerous. Just ask us not to smoke near it under any circumstances. This, he says, is the handiwork of Ukrainian drone operators. They were sitting in a house nearby. From here, there we found boxes from batteries, mechanical grenade fuses, wires for external relays. A feature of this war is that a lot of dangerous goods remain on the surface of the ground. First and foremost, these are unexploded FPP drones with makeshift warheads. In addition, the enemy actively mines everything that might be of interest to us, from rich trophies like Western grenade launchers to cases from Mavics. In the field of sapping, you can come up with anything, and they, it must be admitted, act creatively, with ingenuity. There are also plenty of gifts, in quotes, from NATO partners. According to Krava, the closer to the front, the more often standard Western-style army mines are encountered. The most dangerous among them are anti-personnel mines with magnetic sensors. People are blown up by them as soon as they sense metal nearby. They can be triggered even by a rifle or a steel plate. Body armor. A special demining platoon with quadcopters works with such mines. These quadcopters fly at an extremely low altitude, surveying the dangerous area. And if they suddenly spot a mine, they either drop a charge on it or simply destroy it with a direct hit. Also, he says, surprises are found in light bulbs. In the house where these so-called Ukrainian birdmen were, it's completely empty. And the Ukrainian soldiers, following their so-called nature of Ukrainian chivalry, as once blurted out by Mr. Poroshenko, the former president, as you remember, and so the independent ones, they took everything with them that wasn't nailed down. Did they at least leave the light bulbs? Or maybe they didn't do it on purpose. It seems they applied tactics inspired by ISIS in Syria. They would place an explosive charge in a light bulb, turn on the light, and boom. In Syria, there's no electricity now, but they leave it for the residents who might return home someday. A kind of greeting from the Ukrainian forces. Well, there's no way around it. Sappers carefully remove all lighting fixtures and place them in an abandoned stone shed on the outskirts of the village. They add a 400-gram TNT charge, ignite a detonating cord with a 50-second delay, and retreat to a safe distance. The structure was clearly not used for its intended purpose for many long years. Therefore, to spare the group from the risk of shrapnel, the company commander decided to simply sacrifice it. We take positions for filming and wait. Off camera, a local muttbox hoarsely, lounging 30 meters from the shed, clearly unaware that a deafening explosion is about to occur. The roof lifts up and crashes back down. A loud echo reverberates through the surroundings. I turn to look at the dog, and it's already 300 meters away, running so fast that dust is rising. And for experienced sappers, by the way, it's quite easy physically. From the side, the soldiers of the 92nd Regiment in their anti-fragmentation suits, OVR, and helmets with visors made of armored glass look formidable, but clumsy. In reality, the sapper armor is very light, up to 15 kilograms. But thanks to ballistic packages made from compressed polymer materials, the OVR can withstand the impact of a heavy fragment even from a very short distance. This has repeatedly saved the lives of demining specialists. The best protection for us, explains the sapper with the call sign Karas. It involves putting on all the elements completely. This takes about 3 minutes. At the same time, the suit does not restrict movement and does not interfere with delicate manipulations with explosive devices. And you don't get tired in it, unlike the old sets of doublon. We usually use Alpha Marines as metal detectors. This is a domestic development. Very convenient, compact, can be used from any position. They work in any weather, both in frost and in heat. Resistant to precipitation, lightweight, and with good batteries. The convenience of equipment and gear in the sapper field is extremely important. Just like a person's character in this military profession, the majority are quiet, phlegmatic individuals. You also need good, fine motor skills and a good memory. You need to pass the material part with an A+. Sappers regularly undergo field courses for advanced training. If an unknown mine is discovered at the front and it can be brought to the rear, then very soon. Manuals on defusing are received by all sapper units in the country. Any trap can be figured out. The main thing, as sappers say, is not to rush. The American cluster munitions M70 were new to us. And M46 recalls the company commander. Demining, with the call sign loader. Their submunitions, little bells, often do not explode. There are a lot of them lying around. Subordinates have already noted that the enemy does not hesitate to improvise and combine standard means with non-standard ones. They intensively use jonics, which are detonators that react to external influences. To metal, to shaking, to light. But we are also inventive guys, not born yesterday. We adapt. We understand the great responsibility placed on us. Sooner or later, people will return here peaceful people. And our task is to ensure their safety and peace. And to demine the entire Kursk region will take many decades, says the serviceman with the call sign Lodok. It's sad, of course, he jokes. Probably my grandchildren will have to do this too if they follow in their grandfather's footsteps. Sappers are unique material. They are rare specialists. They work no more than 4 or 5 hours a day. After that, the gaze becomes blurred, dulled. Attention, fatigue increases the risk. That very one and only mistake that a sapper can make only once in their life. But until he walks on the ground where the war took place with his own feet, this territory cannot be considered safe for peaceful life, for peaceful people. In early March of this year, Russian troops launched a large-scale offensive in the Kursk region and liberated more than 1,100 kilometers in a few days. Territories including the villages of Staraya Sarachina, Malaya Loknya, Cherkaskaya, Povechnaya, Martinovka, Mikhailovka, and the district center of the city of Sudzha. And with that, friends, that's all from me. Goodbye.